Archers are back, baby. They are back. And since they're back, we're going to start a series. This is our equipment tier list series. And we're going to start it with the archer equipment. We're going to go through it because now that archers have chin, and now that chin has upgraded YSG, you have 2 archer marches that are very easy to run. Some people are running 3 archer marches. The archers are back in a big way. So let's talk about the gear. This will be the first installment to talk about the archer equipment, and we'll do a tier list. We'll talk about how valuable it is so you can help progress your account, whether you're a brand new player, you're in K2, K3, you're entering Season of Conquest, or you're in the end game. Stick around as we go through it all with you. Everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chatsky. I make videos all the time, and if you like these videos, if it's good content for you, please throw a thumbs up. Like the videos, helps out the channel a ton. And if you are not subscribed, consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the channel so much. We are going to the moon, baby. We have got so much momentum going with our subscribers. And our community is growing, and it's wonderful. And if you want to join that community, you can click the link in my description. It's my Discord link. Join that community, join the conversation, as that's where a lot of the video ideas come from. We love helping players. We love helping players advance their accounts. We love answering questions that could be remedial questions, simple questions. And we want to help everybody in this game, and we want the game to grow. So these are the archers, baby. Chen Shu Huang. Chen Shu Huang. That's how you pronounce his name, from what I've been told and how I've been corrected. I was in that Lilith video when it talked about pronunciations as actually somebody that did it right. So this guy has brought the archers back. Big time. Big time. And I've got gear for him. Ready to go. You can see I don't run a horn on this because I run the pendant. Horn doesn't work on him. So there's all kinds of nuances when it comes to archers. There's all kinds of nuances when it comes to their equipment and what's best to run, what's best to not run. And so we're going to go through all that. And so you take a look at a guy like YSG. He's changed things because he's such a good pair with Chen. Also, I've got my gear over here on Huo. It's really, really good. That's where I got my horn. And so I'm running 2 archers. And so with that, I want to find out what the best equipment is to run. And I'm going to go through this and go through every bit of equipment that has an archer attribute. And we're going to talk about whether or not it is a high value piece of equipment. So let me just bring this up, baby. We'll bring this up. We're going to talk about the criteria. And just so everybody understands, this is our criteria. I'll put it down here in the corner. The first criteria is the upgrade benefit. Basically, that's saying, okay, to go from an elite or a blue level equipment to an epic level, a purple level of equipment, what kind of attributes are you adding? What are you getting? Are you replacing attack with health or defense? Are you doing different things? That's high value. The second thing is the effectiveness. Sometimes there's equipment on these commanders that doesn't work. And so you got to understand what the effectiveness is, like the horn. The horn doesn't work on Chen. So that is completely ineffective on Chen, which makes the value of the horn overall for archers not as good. It's great for Zuge if you're running him primary. And then the third thing is material costs. What's the value? What kind of value can you get by spending minimal amounts of materials? And that's what we're going to go through for you. So over here on the left, I've got my great value at number 1, S+, if you will. I've got good value, I've got okay value, I've got no way value, and then I've got the set bonus stuff. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through this all and we're gonna play it out, okay? And so with that, we're gonna talk about the set bonus stuff. Okay, this is gear that I would not want to craft. This is gear I would not want to craft unless it was a set bonus situation. So archers are in a weird situation. They're different from any other troop type, and let me kind of help explain. Archers are the only troop type that have an epic set just for them. Look at this. The revival set is great, okay? It gives you a 2-piece bonus of attack. It gives you a 4-piece bonus of defense. It's awesome. They're the only ones with it. You see this epic set, this is all for farming. This is all gathering. They're the only ones who have an epic set for archers. They're the only ones, okay? Now, I guess you could say that there are some situations going on with it's not really a set, but there is epic siege stuff, but that's not a set. Okay, so that kind of helps us understand exactly how this stuff works. Okay, so let's go back into this and let's look, because we're going to say, okay, we're going to go ahead and put those in its own category. So the Revival gloves we'll put there. Okay, it's an attack stat for the Revival gloves. I'm not too thrilled about it. The Revival plate is an attack stat for the armor. I'm not a huge fan of that. And then the Dragon's Breath. This is the legendary. There are 3 legendary pieces that have attack stats. The reason why we're not all chummy on attack stats, we're not all excited about attack stats, is because archers have massive amounts of attack. They typically all do. Okay, when you come to Zuge's got a proc here that gives you 50% attack for 3 seconds. Okay, you want to talk about other procs from other archer commanders? Now that Chin YSG is so popular, everybody goes back to YSG. He's got 100% attack bonus. Like, he's just laying down so much attack. So having attack stats on your gear doesn't do much. When you're running up your attack so high, when you already start at like 190 or 200% attack, and then you get this attack bonus for 3 seconds, and then it goes to 300%. Well, like 7 or 10% attack doesn't mean anything. Meanwhile, your health and your defense typically sits around anywhere from 100, 110, 130%. When you add 7 or 11% defense or health, that means a lot. Okay, so you get diminishing returns, and that's why attack stats aren't necessarily ideal for archers to trade well and do different things. Now, the new Crystal Tech has allowed it for attack stats to be more relevant, but still, it's still so much attack. So much attack, okay? This guy's got defense and health. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And he's one of the commanders. That's why he's like the tankiest commander ever, because of this 40% mitigation when he gets hit with smite, AoE skill, or AoE combo. But all these archer commanders have attack stats. I mean, it's just crazy to see. Let me see. I think Herman's got some attack stats. Yep, 20% attack. Like, they've all got attack stats. It's crazy. And so with that, that's what we're looking at here, and that's how we're ranking this stuff, is that when you have attack stats, we don't necessarily like to run it, okay? So you stick with the 3 criteria, and those aren't necessarily great upgrades, okay? So the no way category, and this is pretty simple and easy. First of all, you got these green shoes. I don't even know what these things are called, okay? But let's talk about them, and let's talk about the Saint Song, okay? The gloves here that are blue and the boots that are green. I say no way on these, and let me show you why. Okay, if you're building an account and you're trying to run this thing, you're gonna have all different types of boots, okay? The white boots that they give you, archer defense, just take those. And you don't have to worry about this because this is 2.5% attack. What is that going to do for you? When these boots can give you 2% defense, much more valuable. And so that is much more valuable than messing with the attack over here. Now you talk about the gloves. Okay, gloves, you've got a couple of different things. You got the leather gloves, which gives some health. Okay, that works. We'll take some health. But then when you get into the blue sets, you got Calvin's Hand, which has a little bit of an attack stat here. But you have Saint Song. Okay, Saint Song is a blue piece of gloves, and it gives you archer attack. Well, this gives you 2.5% health. You get it critted, it bumps it up to 3% health. That's much more valuable than 4% archer attack. So you can skip that. That's just, you don't have to use it. It's like a no way category. I ain't messing with that. And so that's how that works. Okay, let's come back to the tier list and go back to the no way category. And we've got next, we get our legendary stuff. This is Ian's choice. Let's go. This is a legendary set of gloves. And then this is the Tassets of the War Gods. This is a legendary set of pants. These are worthless. Nobody has these. If somebody has these, it's because they crafted them like 5 years ago. There is no way anybody is going to run these. Listen, I know it's tempting. I get it. You got all these prints. How many prints do I have for this? 10 prints? I could crit that and tier 5 it right now, okay? I'm not messing with it. It's 8% attack. It's not a part of a set bonus. I am not messing with that. And when it comes to the Tassets, this actually used to be called the Cape of the War God. For those of you OGs in the game, it's the Tassets of the War God now because it's a little bit confusing with a cape and it's, what is it, a cape around your waist? But archer attack 12%, not messing with it. Don't mess with this stuff. I know it's tempting. Look at that. I know it's tempting. You've got all these different prints for this thing, but don't touch it, okay? You will regret it in the end, I promise you. All right, let's go back to our tier list and look at this. Okay, so we got that. We're chilling. And now we're going to get into some of the accessories. Stratagems, ancient stratagems. This is a troop capacity stratagem or accessory. It's called ancient stratagems, and it gives you troop cap. And it really doesn't mean much. You're wasting a slot on your accessories. It's not awful. Like if you're growing your account and this is all you have as an accessory and you've got the mats in it, you can get all those mats back regardless of if it's special talented or not. It's an epic, it's a purple. You can get them all back. Okay, yeah, you can put it on your Archer March if you got nothing else, but no way do you forge this for your archers. You don't do that. Don't even mess with that. So now that we've got that out of the way for accessories, we're going to get into the legendary accessories. Greatest Glory, 5% more normal damage. No archers specialize in normal damage. They're all skill damage commanders, except for the true damage people like Shajar and CY, which is weird. We still don't even know what the hell we're doing there. But Greatest Glory, normal damage. No archers really do normal damage. Henry does a little bit of normal damage as a rally commander. But overall, nobody's benefiting their skill damage from normal damage. So you don't mess with this. This is for Luce. This is for Arthur, Combo, Smite. That's what you make Greatest Glory for. You don't make it for archers, okay? Book of Vengeance. Archers are not counterattack commanders. They are not prickly. So you don't even mess with this. You don't want to enhance your counterattack. It's not going to help your archers. Your archers want to do damage, and that's what they need to do. Dagger, no way. No way, no how. Not touching the dagger, not messing with it. I am not running the dagger on archers. I'm not running it on anything. Okay, Moore's Web, we're not messing with this. Now, we talk about Moore's Web, and I literally did a video with Joan Phillip and talked about how those two commanders together can fire off active skills like every 2 seconds for like 35 seconds. It's crazy. And they have Cage of Thorns on Joan's support talent tree. Well, that's AoE slow. So what is Moore's Web even doing? It's a little bit of defense reduction and it's a little bit of slow for cavalry. I mean, it's just weird. So you don't mess with that for archers. You're not going to proc it any faster. You're not going to do any of that. Seth's Call, garbage. You're not doing that for anybody. Same thing with coin. Only way coin is acceptable is if you run leadership garrisons and you're running it for arc, or you're running it for sustain in Kingsland on a flag, and you're running like Hera YSS or Hera Lapu. That's the only way that a coin is even worth it for anybody. So those are your no way. At no point should you be forging any of this equipment, any of this stuff, any of it. No way you should be forging any of this equipment when it comes to your archers, okay? Now we're gonna get into some okay value, okay? All right, now we can work with this a little bit. Let's put the chainmail up here. Now, we talked about this in the criteria. Material cost is our third criteria, okay? Well, let's go in here a little bit because there's some of this stuff that's really, really good. When you talk about this, you've got, where's my chainmail? There it is, 3% archer attack. It's attack. I don't like attack. However, it's 80 of these white mats. Dude, that literally takes like a day to get in your material production, and you can get all these things all the time. When it comes to the prince, you can crit that pretty easily. You can get it to 4% attack, so it's not bad. Okay, you can use it right off the rip and go do that. Speaking of the white pieces of equipment, the sturdy boots. Look at these little guys. They're so cute. It's like a little cartoon boot. Okay, archer defense, 2%. All right, go get that critted. You can get that up to like 2.5%. You get some defense. Again, not a whole lot of materials. It is okay to use. You can actually do it, and it's okay. We'll come over here. We'll put the sturdy boots up here. Great, all right? Oh, now we got a green piece here. This is the leather gloves. Let's go look at what those things do, okay? When you think about archers and you're growing your account, you're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. We had talked about this to where you really don't have anything on the blue side except for Saint Song and archer attack. Well, just use the leather gloves. That's 2.5% of health. We talked about this. Get it critted, 3% health, you're cooking. You're good. And you don't have to worry about anything until, honestly, you get down here a ways, okay? Because the Revival Gauntlet, same thing. It's got the archer attack. It does have the set bonus. But these things are really, really valuable. Okay, for the material cost and for being able to get this thing, it's really, really good. So I always like to put those leather gloves when you're building your account. You can use those. It works out really well. K1, trying to take your lost temple, all that fun stuff, okay? From here, I got okay value on the KVK helmet. I say okay value because I'm a big believer in the set Dragon's Breath Archer equipment. That's what I really, really like. So you have the KVK helmet, and it gives you a ton of stats. It really does. Like, let's go in here and look just real quick. When it comes to the KVK helmet for archers, I should have one here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Archer attack at 15%. That's a ton. That is a ton, but it's not a part of any set bonuses. And so I know it's the same cost as the Dragon's Breath helmet, and it literally has 4% more attack. However, the Dragon's Breath helmet gets you the 2 and the 4-piece, especially. The 4-piece set is really, really good, okay? And the attack is okay. We're not opposed to all attack, but that's not what archers need. They just don't need all the attack. So I like the Dragon's Breath helmet. I think this is okay. Like if you're a whale and you got like 3 archer sets, or you want to go make the highest of the high-end rally or garrison, and you want to have as much stats as possible, you can use the KVK helmet. And so I'm going to put it as an okay value. This is a tier list of value. That's what this thing is. Okay, so from here, all right, we're going to look at some epic pants, shall we? We're going to go with the Fanatic Tassets, okay? We're going to say okay value over here. All right, we give it okay value because you have other ways to kind of do it. Okay, let's go look at here. Look in here and figure this thing out, okay? Let's see. Where is it at? There it is. Fanatics Tassets, okay? It's got Archer defense 8%, which is pretty good. It's not bad, okay? And so when you look at that, you do have the Revival Greaves. Okay, so here is the alternative. And it has a 0.5% less defense. However, comes with the Revival set. So you have set bonuses when it has that. So I like the value for the Fanatic Tassets. If you have a whole bunch of prints of these and none of the Revival, you can go ahead and forge this. It's no problem. Go ahead and do it. It's good value. It's good material cost for the value, and it works out pretty well. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And I promise I will stop saying okay so much. We're going to go to the Greaves of the Exile. These are blue. These things are great. I like these things a lot. I've always liked them. They're good value in the game. So let's take a look at these. These guys here, the reason why they have good value is because you don't have a whole lot of archer stats in the very first, the gray or the white and the green. You have a little bit here with the Ranger trousers, but these things are great. 6% defense, let's go. You could run that. That's actually better value probably for the mats than the Fanatics Tassets. And so from there, the Greaves of the Exile are good value, and they deserve to be looked at when you're actually trying to grow this thing. So we come back over here, we put them there. Also, Milky Way. Oh no, this is a legendary piece of equipment for archers, specifically for archers, and they're really easy to get, and they bring good value. Let me help explain, okay? When you have the Milky Way, archer health 12%. This is the highest breastplate of health for archers in the game. You do have the Dragon's Breath plate that's 11%. The Dragon's Breath plate comes with the set bonuses, and that's what makes it super valuable. However, the Milky Way, you can, listen, I got 9 prints of this stuff. You're gonna find prints from the Crystal Keys, from the Tavern. You're gonna find prints for this pretty easily, and sometimes if you can't get the prints here, you can get them here. You can go ahead and forge this. It's not a crime to forge a Milky Way set, okay? It is really, really good, and you'd rather not if you can get the prints for the Dragon's Breath, but we'll just say it's got okay value. And so that allows you to kind of put that in this category here. These are all okay values, okay? You're not stuck in a situation to say, no way, don't ever forge these. Just think twice. And if you have other alternatives, think about those. From there, We're going to put the accessories. Delanes, taking less counterattack. That's okay value. Silent Trial. You don't have combos going out for Archer commanders. You don't have extra basic attacks. So the Silent Trial isn't as effective as it is on some other commanders for like cavalry and stuff, but it's still okay. And these are both epic accessories. And their epic accessories are kind of like a bank sometimes. See, people have to understand this. And if they have any value whatsoever, they're kind of okay because it's like a bank. You can get all your materials back. So Delanes, Silent Trial, Wind Scars, Stratagems. It is the Ancient Stratagems. It works out really, really well because if you go forge this, you can always just dismantle that and you get an equal number of materials back for each type. And so from there, it's always okay. I just don't like the stratagems as far as what it does. I don't like the troop capacity. It doesn't really do much for you. You're talking like 1,000 or 2,000 extra troops. It just doesn't do much. So that's how that works out when it comes to the epic accessories of the lanes and Silent Trial. Now we're going to get into the legendary accessories. I will put drums as an okay value. You can put drums on any march and it gives you value. It gives you good value. But since this is not a situation where you're running combo attacks like Arthur, or you're not running an extra basic attack like Luce, drums aren't necessarily great on your Archer marches, but they'll work. They're fine. You can have good value from that. I'll say okay value. All right. And so when we get into the good value side of things, so these are okay to forge. Stay away from these. And then you only forge these when you need set bonuses. All right. So now we're going to go to the good value. Oh, the green helmet. Let's go. Green helmet. What do we even call this thing? I totally forgot. Hold on. The Helm of the Phoenix. Let's go. Archer defense, 4%. You get it critted. That can run up to 5.5%. I think 5% or something like that. And plus, you don't have any other options. And it's pretty easy to get. You can get these in the camps and the keeps in Home Kingdom. They're really easy to get right off the rip, right when you start the game. So these are always good value to go get. 5% Archer defense and a green piece of gear. I'll take it. No problem. And so they are working out well. And the next thing we have, I love this. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is the blue weapon. The blue weapon has always been kind of one of my favorite pieces of equipment, okay? So when you look at this, this is the Staff of the Lost. 8% Archer defense. Great. That is, I need that. I need Archer defense. You'll use this thing and have no problems. When you get to this and you're ready to upgrade from this, you get all these materials back and then you can put that into Golden Age. Look at that defense. Oh my, let's go. And so I like the Staff of the Lost. It is good value and it gets put up in our good value category. So now from here, I'm going to put the flag. Let's go, baby. The flag is good value. Okay. Nobody argue with me on the flag. Flag is good value. I'm sticking with it. I'm staying there. Nobody argue with me. Here's why. Archers are slow. They're slow. They don't have a whole lot of march speed. They're not like insanely slow. They're like Ragnar slow, but they're very, why is she slow? Okay. Zuge's pretty slow. And so when you're growing your account, don't be afraid to go forge one of these if you don't have the prints and materials for your epic sets. When you're starting up your account, or when you're adding a second Archer March and you just don't have the materials to make a legendary accessory, you can easily go make the flag. You can try to crit it. It gives you extra march speed. Set it and forget it. You're done. All right. And now this will give you more benefit if you can put an accessory of epic on there, and definitely more benefit if you can put an accessory like a ring or a horn or drums. You can put that on there. It's going to do much better for your march, but the overall march speed is great value. It is really, really good value. That's what we talk about. The material costs are relatively low, and that puts it up there as far as the good value category. So from there, let's get into it. We're going to take the Archer defense from the Revival Greaves. Okay, the Revival Greaves give you 7.5% archer defense. That's great. You also get the chance for the 2-piece and 4-piece set of the Revival set of the Epic. That's great. Same thing with the Revival helmet. This is really, really good. And this is what people have to understand when it comes to the archer Epic stuff. Okay, you get good defensive stats over here. 7.5%. That's good, man. Here's your Revival Greaves, 7.5%. That's good. It makes it worthwhile, even though we don't necessarily like the plate because it's got attack, and we don't necessarily like the gloves because it's got attack. You can add 3% defense if you got all 4. So that is an option for you. It's pretty good to do that, and so that gives it some decent value. Okay, and so from there, we're gonna do, let's go, the Golden Age. This is the one we talked about with the blue weapon and now the purple weapon. Okay, the Golden Age is fantastic. You will run that thing for a long time until you're ready to upgrade to the Dragon's Breath bow. Tons of defense, tons. And if you get that special talented and critted, you could run that defense all the way up to like 15.5, 16%. It's amazing. It's amazing for Archer Marches. Great value and something you need to look at. So we're going to put that there and put the Golden Age in a good value category, okay? Along with Golden Age. Now we're getting into some of the sets of, this is our leadership set, gloves, and pants. Part of the reason why we like this, and just so we all understand, okay, when you go into the leadership stuff, it gives you troop benefits. Troop health on the pants. Now the attribute is not as high, okay? It's not gonna be as high as the Dragon's Breath test. That's 11% attack, but it's health. Holy cow, let's use health. Same thing with the gloves, 6% defense. So I don't have to run the Dragon's Breath Van Braces, the gloves for the Dragon's Breath. I don't have to run the attack. You're saying I can just run the leadership, 6% defense, even though it's not quite as high. It's defense. I'll take defense. Oh, and it's got a 2-piece set. If I get them both of 3% defense, I'll take it. And a lot of people do this. It's very, very common for Archer players and people who are like, if I was starting my Archer Marches today, I would definitely run the 2-piece set with leadership, 100%. No problems, no questions asked. Good value. You run those 2-piece sets and it's really good. Okay, now we're gonna come over here and we're gonna put the Dragon's Breath boots. Love the boots, love them. It is defense. It is part of the set bonus for Dragon's Breath, and they work out really, really well. They would be great value, but I'm gonna tell you why they're not in just a few. Another part of the good value is the legendary weapons, all right? These are good values. The reason why the Dragon's Breath and the Hydra's Blast, that is the KDK weapon, they're on the same plane, is because they're both the same materials. You get more stats, you get 5% more defense on the Hydra's Blast than you do the Dragon's Breath bow, but the bow is essential to try to get a 4-piece Dragon's Breath set because you want the skill damage enhancement of the 4-piece. So that's why that is valuable. But when you come into game and you look at it, the beauty, the absolute beauty of the Dragon's Breath set, or in the Dragon's Breath weapon, the bow, is that it has defense. That's awesome, 20% defense. That is awesome. Now you want to get even more defense? You want to get wild on this thing? Look at Hydra's Blast, 25% defense. It's the same material cost. It is amazing, absolutely amazing. But you don't have a 2-piece set bonus with the Hydra's Blast. So we keep that at good value. It's not great, and we will lay it out like that. Now from there are 2 pieces of accessories that are good value. They're not necessarily great. It's the horn and the pendant. And here's the reason why. Horn is amazing. Horn is my favorite accessory. The reason why I don't have the horn, I'll put it in front of the pendant. The reason why I don't have it as great value is because of one thing and one thing only, and that's Chin. We've talked about this at length. When you come into Chin and you look at his stuff and we have run him to death, you do not need the horn. He does the rage consumption effect when it comes to his active skills, and you just overrage. You don't need, and I'm not afraid to overrage anything. Anybody ask you, I'll put a horn on anything. However, the horn gets wasted on this guy, just completely wasted. So it's just deficient. You don't run the horn on him. Instead, because all he does is skill damage, you run the pendant and you go try to get this thing critted. You can get him from keeps in Home Kingdom. I've got a video on that. And you can run this thing up, get it critted, and run it to tier 5. It's awesome. Typically, the pendant would not even be valuable. And I even did an accessory tier list about 4 or 5 months ago. And the pendant was like a no way, don't even do it. Like, it's not worth it. 5% skill damage is just not worth it. However, with Chen and the fact that that's all he does is skill damage, it's like all damage. So for archers, these guys get put up here in the good category, and there's a reason why that's not set to great, okay? So there's your good value. Let me scroll back up here. And now we're gonna go to the great value. Oh, you're gonna love this, okay? I have this Moore's Web down here. Don't worry, that's not going anywhere. That's gonna stay down here the whole time. The Flaming Treads, let's go. The Epic Boots. These are awesome. These are health, and they are great. And so when you're trying to upgrade your exiles, okay, I'll call them exiles. When you're trying to upgrade, where are these things? Oh, that's the Greaves. Okay, when you're trying to upgrade your boots, you've got these, which sturdy boots I put at decent value. It's got okay value. These things suck. Don't ever do edge boots if you can help yourself. The hard part is when you get to the blue, there is no, you have cavalry with the Windswept. You've got Scarlet Hounds, which are really good for infantry health. And then you got some gathering stuff. You don't have an archer option here. So you immediately got to go from here or here all the way to here, and it's worth it. Get these as fast as possible. Huge value, great value. 5.5% health. If you can get them critted, that runs it up over 7% health. On Epic, it's amazing. And you don't have any other options. So you have to put the value of the Flame Treads as high as possible. Max value, great value when it comes to this. So those go up at the top. Also, oh baby, the blue chest plate. I love this thing. Y'all ready? This thing is wild. Okay. So if you're an archer player and you're starting, you have the chainmail, which, you know, it's so inexpensive that it's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. The same thing here that we saw with the Flame Treads, but it's on the green. You don't have any archer stuff. You got 2% archer attack on the Milanese plate, but you have nothing else. However, Yahtzee Commander's Heavy Armor. Health of archers 6%? Let's go. You can run that up with a special talent over 8% health. Awesome value. The material cost is super inexpensive. You can literally run this until you're ready to go to your legendary status. You can skip, yeah, I said it, you can skip revival if you're not trying to do the 4-piece set, and you can use this, especially when it's critted, and then you can wait until you're ready to go to your legendary status. It has great value. I used it when I'm building my archer marches, and it works out really, really well. Then from there, the Dragon's Breath chest plate. This is awesome. Okay, and both of these, like, it's like do this, keep it for a long time, and then do the legendary Dragon's Breath chest plate is awesome. It's one of the best set piece legendary equipment in the game. 11% health. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's like the Hellish for the Cavs. It's like the Hellish because it gives you health. It's amazing. Plus, it really makes it easier to go to that 4-piece skill damage set bonus. Awesome. Love it. Great value. This is the end game for archer players. You want to get this thing, and you want to make a couple of them if you're running a couple archer marches. And so after that, this is it, y'all. Now, I've done my accessory tier list, and ring isn't quite as valuable with horn, but for archers, it is. And it's only for the reason why, and I'll kind of help explain this. Let me shrink this down just a little bit. There we go. And the only reason why is because, pull this down. The only reason why is because you have no other options universally. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, what are you talking about with the ring? The ring you can put on any one of your archer marches and it gets the same value, and it's great value. Okay, it's not necessarily the greatest of all time. Like when you're back and forth fighting, that is a little deficient because you'll lose that all damage for a second if you pull away. However, you can put the ring on Chen. You can put the ring on Ash. You can put the ring on Zuge. You can put it anywhere. It's so much more universal. You have no problem putting the ring wherever you want with archers. It is the greatest value of the accessories for archers now that Chen doesn't need a horn. So that is the beauty of archers. You can go 2 archer marches. You could run 2 rings, 1 pendant, and 1 horn. That's what you ought to do. That's what all the best players are doing in the game. And that's what it gives us when it comes to your archer equipment tier list. If you guys enjoyed this video, put a comment down there, throw a like on here. This takes a lot of work, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it and had a little bit of entertainment with it. But these are all the archer pieces you're ever going to have in the game. You've got your set bonus stuff at the bottom. You've got your no way, no how. Don't ever forge that in the tier with the yellow. Then you've got your okay value stuff, you've got your good value stuff, and you've got your great value stuff when it comes to archer marches. I'm your boy, War Daddy Chatsky. I put out videos all the time. And if you enjoyed this one, like I said, throw a thumbs up on it. Consider subscribing. We're going to put out more videos as we get into the equipment tier list for each troop type. I might even do it for Siege. You crazy Siege players, I never do any videos for Siege, and I might do it. So stick around because we're going to have more content for that. And with all that being said, hope you guys have a wonderful day, broskies.